Hello everybody. I'm sorry I'm not with you now in person, but I am so with you in spirit for all you're doing and planning to give us a more sustainable world. I've been looking at an article that I wrote for the International Herald Tribune 9 years, nearly a decade ago, and this is what it said. Suppose that luxury was separated from fashion with its constant desire for change and built-in obsolescence. Then the essence of the luxurious would be a private joy in something that was crafted to last. Now those words, the idea of things that last, is really at the heart of what Italy does for the fashion industry. But Italy brings with it such an extraordinary amount of craftsmanship. And if only people could look at that and think about that, rather than this idea of next, next, next. So many shows, so many different looks. I will never forget when I spoke to Alessandro Sartori at Zegna when he came back to the brand. And he said the first thing he did was to go around Italy talking to the different people who did handwork. And I said, what is that, a couple of people? And he said, no, and cited a number that I couldn't believe. But of course, this is what is done in Italy, wonderful handwork. You know, I think that something that is touched by human hands is just so much more desirable and more beautiful and more important in the mind than something that's churned out, handbags sent out at speed. Now, a lot of you would argue that things are not done with speed, but that's the impression that people get. Can't we have a different attitude? Can't we talk about slow fashion? Can't we talk about all these Italian brands? After all, we all know that it's Italy that provides just about all the high-level clothes. The handwork, the work on something like my coat that's painted by hand, all these things come from Italy, and Italy should be the country that goes out there and says to the world, luxury is what we do. It's beautiful clothes that deserve to be kept and looked after and worn again. It's time to stop now the idea of fast fashion. I think a lot about the millennials and the contradiction there is between people, a generation who really care about the planet and in lots of ways want to think about it, and yet at the same time are running out to buy more clothes. It really is difficult to see how we can straighten things out, that we can get the whole attitude of young and old to this subject. We have to try and teach the younger generation the things that we know about, the toxic dyes and how that rivers can be destroyed by them. But it's so difficult for people to understand the difference between something that is well made and not made in any of these ways that are disrespectful to the planet, to say the least. You Italians have so many people to talk about, and I know you have a lot of designers who are thinking today about this subject. And I would say, thank God for Italy. The fashion industry should be so grateful to you, and those of us who love luxury think that you are on the right track.